Cool, so we're done? We are definitely not done. You need to sit right there. There were 2 questions up here. Yeah. We put both of those off because those were very excellent questions. Yeah. Years ago, you're like, there's gonna be a movie. And then, what happened to Rick Grimes was another question. What happened to Michonne? There's so many unanswered things. You never, ever, ever spill anything, Scott Gimple. This is a very important Comic-Con for all of us. So I demand that you spill something, please, and answer my and their questions about these things. Scott Gimple, sir.
I'm going to say that I cannot.
Son of a...
But there are 2 people who can.
Okay. Maybe they should come out.
Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh. And ladies and gentlemen, the biggest news that we've been waiting for, San Diego Comic-Con, Walking Dead panel. Oh, yeah.
The biggest surprise that we wanted for the last 3 years.
Rick and Michonne.
Oh, my God. That was an even bigger bonus, guys. Oh, my God. So, yeah, we, of course, work... day jobs, we were working, and I was live tweeting and stuff like that, all the updates and things. And so towards the end, it was like maybe 15 minutes left in the panel. I tweeted out, okay, bring him, because there were a lot of rumors that Andrew Lincoln was in town. There were people like apparently his own brother tweeted saying he's not in the UK. Then his brother deleted that tweet, even put his account to private.
AMC was probably like, what the f*** are you doing, dude?
Yeah. And then there were tweets coming out like, Melissa McBride actually went and picked up Andrew Lincoln at the airport because Andrew Lincoln he apparently flew into San Francisco, and then he was asking for directions to San Diego, and then Melissa McBride...
Andrew Lincoln was?
Yeah. Then Melissa McBride went to go pick him up, and they were like, well, it's like a 2-hour drive from San Francisco to San Diego. They were like, is she going to get back on time? Like,
can I just say, if you're AMC, right, why wouldn't you pick up your star at the airport?
I don't know. They don't have the money for it? No, I don't know. You would think they'd have a driver.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you'd think if there's a guy, instead of having the I don't know, they might not have his name or something. They can have a different name, like just a fake name.
AMC's the same, obviously the same studio behind Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
and they flew Bryan Cranston in like under a black sheet and and hid him for the El Camino movie.
I don't get it either. I mean, you would think that, because there were rumors too that nobody knew about Denai Guerrera being there. They thought that he was in the States to visit Denai Guerrera, actually in New York, because that's what people were thinking, that she was out in New York. So, who knows how...
Regardless.
Who knows all this early stuff came out, but, towards the end, Chris Hardwick and Scott Gimple were Chris Hardwick was like, look, you have to give us some information. You have to tell us something. And as you guys saw from the clip that I played, Scott Gimple says, oh, yeah, let's have these 2 come out and explain it to you. And, Andy Lincoln and Denai Guerrera came out themselves and explained that in 2023, we are getting a Rick and Michonne series. Now, they did say that this series will conclude their stories. Now, at first, guys, it was confirmed that it was only going to be 6 episodes. Now, 6 episodes to tell a 7 to 8 year story, but between what happened to Rick, that's very rushed. But now we have gotten confirmation. EW, Entertainment Weekly, has confirmed that those 6 episodes will not be a limited series, but rather the first season of a continuing series starting the duo. So that, yeah, dude, like, you can't fit in the timeline of when Rick left to where we are now. There's over 6 years.
There's so much story. There's so much story that you could tell.
Plus, with Michonne trying to find him, like, you can't do that in 6 episodes. So, super excited for this, guys.
They actually have done it in a way to where, you know, if they stretch that out, right, and Rick and Michonne don't actually reunite until, like, I'm just throwing this out there, like season 3, right? Like, you've hooked people in that long waiting for that moment.
Right. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, you have to think about this, guys. So, you know, I think this first season, it's going to deal a lot with what happened with Rick after the bridge, right? And they're going to come up to the point in the timeline of when Michonne, you know, I think we're going to be jumping back and forth between Rick and Michonne's search.
Exactly.
Because they're on different timelines, guys. You got to think about that. So, well, actually, they're kind of on the same timeline, but now it's, you know, we got to know what happened to Rick after the bridge, however many years
leading up to where Michonne starts searching.
That's over 6 years.
Yeah.
When they did the time skip, that's over 6 years. So yeah, so I think in this first season we're going to get jumping back and forth between them both. Season 2, maybe season 3 is when she's finally reeling it into where she's going to find him, and then the journey back.
All you need to explain to me in the first episode of this series is the whole landing into the base or the island and the phone and the
boots. Yeah.
Please explain that.
Yeah, we definitely need that for sure.
Like,
so
what is that all about? No, but anyway, you know, it was a great announcement. You know, your immediate question is, what does this do to the final season? Like, what impact does this have on the final episode? And look, I'm still holding out hope that Andrew Lincoln or Rick Grimes makes an appearance at the end of this season.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of been our biggest thing. We've mentioned it in multiple videos, guys, that we would love to have Rick and Michonne arrive back at Alexandria at the end of the series.
And does this ruin that?
No,
it doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's the main statement. It doesn't have to. They can still give us Rick and Michonne at the end of the series and still do this show.
Yeah. We just wanted it to be. We want a conclusion that those two make it back. See a massive, you know. Everyone reuniting, you know, Rick seeing Judith grown up, Rick being introduced to his son,
Rick and Daryl.
I mean, everyone really, right? Him seeing Negan, you know, like depending if Negan's gone, you know, Negan and Maggie are gone because of their spinoff. But either way, we wanted to see that and then tell the story in the spinoffs. And as you guys know, they scrapped the movies. You know, I think they had a hard time going from show to movie to really write that script, to really get it done. So, I mean, I understand that, you know, now knowing this, that they couldn't provide all those updates for over 3 years because maybe after the first year, second year, they were like, we're done. We're scrapping this. Let's do a series. And they wanted to get everything in line to make this announcement this year. So
is it still CRM heavy, do you think?
Oh, yeah. Well, especially with Rick.
It has to be with Rick.
Stuff, yeah. Michonne, bits and pieces, depending on who she comes across, like different checkpoints as she's maybe getting closer to different CRM outposts and things, and whoever she's talking to hear rumors. I don't know.
Couple things.
Yeah.
Like, one, it would be really cool if somehow she runs into Al and
Isabella?
Yeah.
Or Isabel, yeah. Isabel, yeah.
Then she has that CRM connection.
She does,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
But also, like, do you think...
Well, and she also has the Morgan connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because Al can tell her about Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's good. But do you also think that... Let's assume that we get what we want and them showing up in the final episode. Do you think that we'll, like, be picking apart, like, every little article of clothing that they're wearing? Because obviously what they're wearing is going to be, like, possibly CRM related based upon the fact that they will be coming from there to Alexandria.
Yeah, it'd probably be more.
Yeah,
who knows? Yeah, I don't know.
Or they just might not even give us that.
I don't know. I don't know about the clothing.
I mean, I'm not talking about Rick in the full CRM outfit.
Right, but different actual clothes, like different from what we've seen. Yeah, because like, yeah, we'll do other videos talking about the kind of the, you know, predictions and things on this, guys. But they did release the synopsis for the series, and it reads: this series presents an epic love story of two characters changed by a changed world, kept apart by distance, by an unstoppable power, by the ghosts of who they were. Rick and Michonne are thrown into another world built on a war against the dead and ultimately a war against the living. Can they find each other and who they were in a place and situation unlike any they've ever known before? Are they enemies, lovers, victims, victors, without each other, Are they even alive, or will they find that they too are the Walking Dead? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
You know, but it's good though, because you can tell that obviously the show is solely about Rick and Michonne, right? And so to me, that's more evidence that we might possibly get a reunion of Rick and Michonne in our final episode.
I'm hoping we do.
Because like that synopsis says, should only be about them.
Yeah.
And save that reunion and conflict and love story to that main show.
Yeah, and I want it on the main show, but then I wouldn't care if they waited to do that reunion on that series.
No, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Save that reunion for that show.
For the series and not the main show.
Correct.
Okay.
For the
gotcha.
series.
Yeah.
But give us our reunions for the main show, that's all I want. Like,
so you want 2 then?
what do you mean? Well, you're going to have 2.
Not really.
I'm not talking about Michonne and Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Save that for the series. But Rick and Michonne reuniting with our characters should be in the flagship series.
Yeah.
The final episode.
Yeah. So I want that too. But what I was saying was, if they don't do that, I would be fine if they did that on their series. But you would have to bring back basically everyone. You know what I'm saying? So you'd have to call everyone and be like, okay, we need you guys on set for the actual reunion for that series. So they're going to have to pick one or the other.
It's a wasted opportunity.
It is. It's a wasted opportunity. And guys, guess what? I mean, they've already finished filming the 11C, as we know, so they could have already done it. But hopefully, if they did, it's hopefully being kept under wraps and not going to get leaked. But I do agree with you. I would rather that they do the full reunion with everyone at Alexandria at the end of Walking Dead main series. And then at the end of the Rick Michonne series, you cut to black when... It'd be cool, like you cut to black when they're both walking up to Alexandria to the gates. Cut to black. It's done.
At the end of that show?
At the end of their series.
Oh, yeah, that'd be sweet.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the Rick and Michonne series.
Basically end their show at right before we see everything that we've already seen.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
No, but that'd be freaking awesome. I'd love that. But...
So do you think this changes the Daryl spinoff now? Because at first we were thinking, is Daryl going to Europe to search for Rick? You know, maybe it could be pieces of it. I don't know, but no, I don't know how they would do it. I don't know.
I don't like. I think this changes. Well, we don't know what they were going to do for the Daryl series.
No, they didn't give any details at San Diego Comic-Con at all. So.
I think we most likely will still get that.
It'd be tough though, because like if Rick's over in Europe,
and
then come back, I don't know.
Maybe he goes for another reason.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think he's going to go searching for Rick, because my hope is he will already have reunited with Rick
by the end.
But then you can make the argument, if he reunites with Rick, is he gonna really go to Europe? Like, he's got his best friend, he's got probably love interest in Connie.
That's the biggest question. We won't dive any deeper into it because we've talked about it. But that's the biggest question: is what makes him go over there. If he's reunited with everyone's at Alexandria, he has everything he needs. What the hell is making him go? You know. And we will find out also once we start doing our Walking Dead stuff. We will find out at the end of the series what makes Negan and Maggie leave for their spinoff. So we'll
absolutely just love for Commonwealth to be utterly in ruins, and then Rick walks in and everyone just pauses and like, this guy's our savior.
Yeah, that'd be sweet,
right? Like, man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, but it's super exciting, guys. Man, Rick and Michonne on a series together to tell this story. Multiple seasons apparently going to be planned, which is they definitely need to with all the, how long he's been gone and the story that they can do. So,
does Michonne know about Commonwealth?
Unless Judith has been telling her stuff over radio.
Because that's what I was going to say. How does Rick and Michonne know to make it to Commonwealth?
They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know about it.
That might be a little.
Unless
that might be a little plot hole or wrinkle in our plan. Unless everyone goes back to Alexandria,
right?
Leaves a small faction of their people in Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Which is plausible.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, guys, so it's super exciting. Definitely stay tuned when there's more news and information when it comes out. I think probably that they're probably going to give some more information, I would imagine, next year at Comic-Con. So stay tuned. We don't know where they're going to start filming. We'll get, who's going to be, Scott Gimple is a showrunner. We'll find out who's going to be directing.
Maybe we'll get a trailer
other
next
casts.
year. Trailer at next
Definitely
Comic-Con.
trailer, yeah. So we can automatically probably say we know of one character who will be in that series.
Jadis.
Should be Jadis. For sure. So, stay tuned, guys. Let us know your thoughts. What's up?
Silas.
Silas could be cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Because Silas is going to be with Jadis, and they're going to do some type of, flash forward to common or real time, right?
To real time, yeah. Because World Beyond's about
current timeline. That's what I meant.
2 years behind, yeah. So, wonderful. Get to see. Oh God, what's his name?
The Doctor?
No, not the Doctor. The one character who. The black guy with glasses who was with Tara, who left.
Oh, Heath.
Heath, yes, yeah. Heath. Wonderful. Get that. There we go. I wonder if we'll get that character.
Oh, probably
showing
not.
Up,
Didn't we already confirm Heath was dead?
Well, we didn't confirm he was dead. We were wondering.
Didn't Angela Kang say that he didn't make it?
We were wondering if since Jadis gave him to the CRM. Did she give him as an A or a B?
They should have just shot to him like in a freezer. And just end it all. I'm sorry, Heath is a great actor, but probably just should have shot to him in a freezer, hanging from like a meat hook.
Somebody caption that, guys, and whenever there's conversations about Heath, just grab that clip and post it into Twitter and be like, we should just cut to him with showing him in a freezer. Heath is an A, he's in a freezer. Oh, that was glorious. Yeah. Anyway, let us know your thoughts on the Rick Grimes Show series. Definitely stay tuned for more info. And we're super excited for this, guys. Super pumped. So once again, if you enjoyed, smash the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.